Hello and welcome. The topic number one for today is introduction to NXOpen. Maybe you know this topic from before. Maybe you are very new to this topic. Uh, that's fine. But understanding what exactly it is, what are the capabilities of NXOpen, where it is used, where it cannot be used, or where it is more potential to use, and all the technicalities about that. It is good to know about that, even if you know it. So that's why I picked up this as a first topic. So let's understand what is NXOpen. So NXOpen is a application programming interface. It is simply just an library of application programming interfaces. If you don't know what is application programming interface, then I can tell you in a very simple terms. For any software development, there are certain type of interfaces those are used. Uh, these interfaces actually call some other software. It actually calls some other software uh, actions. So in this case, if I tell about the context of NXOpen programming, so we can have a program that is written in any of the programming language. But in order to connect that program to a NX software, we need this interface. And this interface is called application programming interface. The short form, which is very popularly used in a software uh, domain, is API. So you might have heard this term called API, application programming interface. Without this interface, we cannot even do a very small thing in NX. We might be writing a very extensive, very complex program, but this interface, this API means this is an access to our program to do some automation inside NX. If this is missing, we cannot do anything inside NX. We cannot perform any task via automation in NX. So NXOpen is nothing but the library of these APIs. Now, why library? You can correlate this with the how you use NXCAD software. So maybe you are doing modeling, maybe you are doing assembly, you are doing drawings. So whatever you are doing in NX, you do use several features. There are features related to sketch. There are features related to creating bodies, adding constraints, uh, creating arrangements in assembly, creating expressions, creating or modifying drawings, annotations, dimensions. So all of these things, whatever we do inside NXCAD software manually, all of these features we use to perform our task in NX. So for all of these actions, what we do, there is a separate API available. Even there are several options of API available for the same thing to do in NX. This is why there is the library of these APIs. And based on what we wanted to do in our program, we access the specific API. We call that API into our program, and then this is how we automate NX software. So this is the library of APIs. NXOpen is library of APIs. Now the next thing is it writes the programs to customize or extend NX. So whatever we do manually, that can be performed via program, and I already shared with you how it can be performed via program. So what we do when we use these APIs into our program, we are either customizing NX or we are extending the capacity or the capabilities of NX. Because when we use these APIs into our program, these APIs can even do something more or even much more what we can do manually. This is how it extends the capabilities of the NX using it manually versus automating NX. For example, when you open any part document in NX, you see that document visible in a graphics area. But I do have a choice when I open the same part document via the API into a program. I do have a choice where I can set the visibility of that part hidden. It means even if that is open in NX session, still that is not going to be visible in graphics area. So you cannot do this manually. So, but we do have that kind of options available where we do this through API. So this is just one of the simple example. This way we can even do more with the NX when we program NX using APIs. And why it is at all done? So it, it captures the important design process knowledge. Automating, customizing NX is one thing. What else it can do is it can capture the design process knowledge. For example, we do have set of APIs that is automating NX, but programming do have its own capabilities, its own powerfulness. Uh, we can write complex logics in a program. We can develop some decision making capabilities using a logic in a program. So all that decision making and complex logic building also supports automating NX. Supports means we are anyway make combining these two things, APIs as well as the complex logic development capabilities of the programming language, and this together helps us uh, capture the design process knowledge. You know, as a design engineer, that there is some references we need to refer to create the design. So whatever design we are working on, we refer some codes and standards, we refer some logic, some calculation, engineering calculations, some Excel sheets, or some procedures that we follow. So all of that makes that design based on some input criteria or the design requirements. So all of that actually followed by the design process. The same thing can be translated into a program. So this is what is meant by capturing important design process knowledge. Maybe this will look a little uh, theoretical for you now, but as we go on, this will get decoded for you. Okay. The another important thing about NXOpen is that it is not just for automating the geometries, assemblies, or drawings, but there are libraries of API that even support the automation for CAE and for NXCAM as well. So it is not just related to CAD. It is also available for CAE and CAM. Then reading information or performing various operations. Uh, Maybe as a beginner or just a person who has just got introduced to the field of CAD customization and automation, you can very well think that there are some tasks that we can automate with NXOpen or CAD customization. But it is not just about performing various operations to automate your activities in NX. It can be also reading information. So reading information means we can read lot of information from a model, from an assembly, from a drawing, and that information it can be very useful for anyone to refer. Whether it's for design engineer or someone else, but that is going to be useful for anyone. And this is also a very important outcome for the uh, for using NXOpen. For example, you do have some let's say hundreds of files, part files, and a few of them are imported geometries, and few of them are solid, and few of them are not solid. Not solid means they are either surface or there is some errors while those solids or those geometries are imported from some other format, and you wanted to find out which one has a problem, which one are not complete solid, or which one do not have the material properties assigned. If it is hundreds of parts, it is going to be the tedious for you as a design engineer when you are doing this manually. But if we do have a program that reads the relevant information from these 100 plus part documents, then you do have this information uh, very easily ready for you to refer. So this is just one example, but this one kind of program can help you uh, get the relevant information that can save a lot of time of yours. So it is not just automating certain actions in NX. Reading information is also very important and useful. What else NXOpen can do? It can even develop the custom user interfaces. Uh, just imagine any feature dialog in NX. For example, extrude, or for example, hole. So you know that when you click on hole feature or extrude feature, that time it opens a dialog, and there are some uh, selection or some inputs that you provide to create that extrude. For example, for extrude, you specify the plane, direction, sketch, and then value for extrusion, and then that sketch is got extruded. The body is created. That is the custom that is called the standard user interface for extrude feature. But what if you wanted to develop your own custom interface? Means you will decide what inputs, what a different kind of selection that you will allow there. So that kind of custom development also can be done within using NXOpen. For example, you wanted to capture some design parameters for a specific product that you are working on. So you can develop the custom user interface, and you can have these parameters configured there, and then this is how you develop your own custom interface using NXOpen. So these are the different capabilities. These are the different uh, characteristics of NXOpen. Now let's understand the uh, the relation between NXOpen APIs, the programming language, and Siemens NX CAD software. So programming, as I said, programming can help programming is used to develop any software program. It in this case we are focusing on C sharp, but it can be any programming language. So any that programming language helps us develop a piece of program that do something. But here we are more focused and more concerned about NX customization or NX automation. So whatever program we are going to write, that program, though it is using C sharp programming to write that piece of program, but it requires the use of NXOpen APIs. If we are not using API, then it is that then that program is cannot be called the program for NXOpen or program for NXOpen customization. So unless we use the APIs from NXOpen, that is not going to be the NX program. So we must have used NXOpen APIs into our program to uh, make it work on NX. So for our C sharp programming, C sharp program piece of program, NXOpen API becomes a input, and then it becomes the NXOpen, sorry, not NXOpen, but NX program, NX customization, uh, uh, NX customization program. And then when we use that program, what we are doing when using it, we are when we execute that or when we run that program, it actually either performs some actions into NX or reads some information from NX. So when it communicates with NX, it is two-way communication. It either performs some task. Let's say, let's take an example. We have written a C sharp program that is using the Sketch related APIs. So we have used Sketch related APIs. We have created a C sharp program. And then once that is uh, developed, that program is written. And when we run that program, that time that program is creating a sketch in a defined on a defined plane in in NX, and then once this action is done, then it is reading some let's say sketch name and giving that sketch name back to the program. So it means it has done two things. One is automatically it created the sketch, and then it also returned the name of sketch. So this way it can be the two-way communication between the C sharp program and NXCAD software. But it it cannot work without the APIs of NXOpen. If we not use APIs, then it's not going to work on NX. So this is very simple to understand. Now let's talk about typical applications. Though I have touched upon a few applications already, let's try to understand what are the different types of automation we can develop in NXOpen. Actually, there are very huge list of the very huge list when it comes to types of different applications. But I have uh, only listed down few of them, which are more commonly used or very broadly used. First, very obvious thing that is being looked when used NXOpen is either creating a part geometry or a drawing. Comparatively, creating part geometry is easier, but creating or automating drawing is also very well possible. So this is a typical type of application where a few inputs are given to the program. Then that program either start with creating sketch, then features, uh, and creates the geometry, or it can refer to the already created geometry and modifies the sketch and the features. It changes the dimensions via expression or some other method, and it modifies that geometry to suit the given inputs. The other automation is similar way, similar to geometry, creating drawings, either creating drawing views or either adding dimensions or a combination of both, even adding other annotations. So it can be even the possible to do. So sometimes it is drawings are created from scratch, or sometimes the reference drawings are given as an input to program, and those drawings are modified based on the geometry or based on the some inputs. So this is very typical and commonly used. Uh, uh, this is commonly used type of application for NXOpen uh, programming. Then other one is importing data from other sources. Uh, Other sources means uh, we have some data to import, and then that data is required to be formed in some, uh, let's say, some Excel sheet. So uh, that data is reader is taken, the information is fetched from these sources, and then that is imported and saved in either in tabular format or some other Excel format. So this is also one of the important or commonly used type. Uh, Reading data is also very similar one, where this data is read from the different objects. It can objects means it can be different bodies in a in a in a part file. It can be different bodies in assembly. So even it is even it can be even surfaces. It can be even faces. So it can be even a set of features. So uh, that the source can be anything, but the geometry, but the data is fetched, and that is also can be stored in a specific format. So this is one of the typical type of applications that's been developed. Then building custom applications. I told you about building custom user interface. Then this is just an extension of that. Export data to other formats. Uh, as This looks similar to what I have said earlier. So exporting data, for example, let's say there is a export of the geometry to either a step file or IGS file or either a 2D DXF file. So this is called export of the data. Reading data and saving it into Excel or some other similar format, that is different. This is the export or the uh, export of one format to other. One format means it is obviously the NX PRT file, but that is being exported to either a step or IGS. So then last but not the least, uh, it's not always that we create something. out of using NX automation. It can be performing some very specific actions. For example, there is the drawing sheet, and we wanted to find out the dimension uh, which is uh, which is out of date. We wanted to find out the drawing view across different drawing sheets, which is having error, or we wanted to find out the dimension which is overridden. So it can be a very specific check that we wanted to do. The other example that I already shared, finding out the the part which has uh, surface bodies, not solid bodies. So these are the specific kind of checks that we wanted to perform, and this is also very popular type of application, because this not just find out the correct uh, thing that we are looking for, but it also saves a lot of time, because finding out that specific error or checking for that specific thing can be very tedious and can be very time consuming. So this is also the quality point of view. This is very popular type of application, and it also saves a lot of time. So this is the typical type of applications that can be developed. So if you think that automating certain tasks or creating part or geometry is the only thing of is the only type of automation, then you are wrong. It is uh, the capability wise, uh, it can do a lot more things. It can do lot of things. Okay, now let's talk about NX programming tool help. This 10 should not be here. It is because it is not version specific. So I told you the background, uh, the introduction to the NXOpen programming. But now let's talk about the tool specific thing. Now, if I go to NXOpen, if I go to the new uh, page on a browser, NXOpen programming tool. So if I look like this, if I search like this, then I do get this page, this Google search result page. This is actually the result from the Siemens site. Actually, this site docs.plm.automation.siemens.com. This is actually the site where a lot of things related to the Siemens software are documented. And as we look for this specific NXOpen tool, we get the exact search result in Google. And this is the official documentation site, we can say, for NXOpen. If you find the documentation for newer site, newer version, that is also fine. Maybe let's try with version 12. Let's see if I get it. Yeah. So even for version 12, I do have it, and even for other newer versions also we do have it. But this is very easy and comfortable to navigate. That's why I still refer this NX12 help page. So this is official documentation, and this covers lot of information about NX Open. This covers lot of information. So the beauty about this is that this help is official documentation, but it is available publicly. So we can anytime refer this and find out whatever we are looking for. Then inside this documentation, the important thing to know or go through is this uh, various programming tools available in Siemens. So NXOpen is not just one tool that's available. There are 5 to 6 different tools being developed by Siemens that supports programming and that help improve productivity using NX. So NXOpen is one of that. Other tools are Snap, then Knowledge Fusion, which is also popularly called as KF, then Grip, then Manuscript, and Block UI Styler. Out of this, all 5, 6, NXOpen is very popular and very uh, powerful as well as compared to others. Okay, Snap and Grip are very outdated and they are not used that much these days. But in some cases, very few, I see that Snap is used still, but not that much. Okay, NXOpen is many a times is used along with Block UI Styler. Block UI Styler helps us develop the front end or that custom user interface that we talked about, and then backend where we need to write the code or write the logic. NXOpen is used. So many times NXOpen is in combination with Block UI Styler is used. It is very popular combination when it comes to creating custom user interfaces. Block UI Styler comes into picture. And about knowledge fusion, sometimes uh, NXOpen is also used in combination with knowledge fusion. Knowledge fusion actually is a type of tool that can store the engineering uh, or design information about that product, about that model into the part file itself. So it is just the next version of expressions where you can have very logical engineering calculations stored related to that model into knowledge fusion. And sometimes when uh, you don't want to create that logic into a programming, that time that logic is created, developed in a knowledge fusion and stored into the part file. And then what other things are developed in NXOpen. So this is how NXOpen and knowledge fusion is also used in combination. But I say this is again not that popular combination. Only few times it is used like this. So the conclusion is NXOpen is the only programming tool that is much more popular and powerful than any other programming tools. Okay, now one more thing about this programming help is it does not provide complete definitions of NXOpen APIs. It it provides you the introductory information. I definitely recommend you if you do have time, you go through this page, navigate to the different topics here. You can see that we do have this getting started guide. I think you can ignore this for now. You don't need this because you already have me who is going to help you uh, in this learning. So you don't need this, but you can definitely navigate and see different topics here. Even we do have, let's say, NXOpen. I only wanted to see the information on NXOpen. Yeah. So about NXOpen, creating automation, execution methods. So you can see these are several topics related to NXOpen we can find here, and it is worth to go through this and understand about different things which are documented very well here. But this programming tools help site does not give you any information about APIs. So what is there for information about APIs? So this information about APIs, which you will be going to follow on regular basis, that can be found here. Uh, NXOpen for .NET. So you can see there are 5 different languages are supported in NXOpen: C, C++, Java, Python, .NET. So .NET meaning C Sharp or Visual Basic .NET. So both these languages are from .NET framework. So we do have a dedicated guide for .NET. So you have to go to here and open for .NET. Open for .NET means .NET guide for NXOpen. So this is what is it. Now, as I'm looking into this NX12 tools help. I cannot see the guide to download, but if I check for version 10 and then I go to find out the same guide, NXOpen for .NET, yes, then I find this reference guide. So I will even tell you how to download this and all. So it is very simple. This is actually, if you click here, you will get this downloaded. So this is the guide, .NET reference guide. This guide contains the complete information about APIs. So as I already told you, there are lot many APIs. The library of APIs is very huge, and the best part is that all of these APIs information that you can find in this NXOpen .NET reference guide. It means that you don't need to remember all those APIs. You just need to know how to find out those APIs. And this is the guide that we are going to follow across this entire training program, because uh, this is going to be the ultimate source for us to know about the APIs to use in our program. Okay, and as we have seen in this tool, we do have different uh, reference guide for different languages. So we need to make sure that we are only downloading this guide for .NET. There is separate guide for C. There is separate guide for Java. There is separate guide for Python. So all of that we don't need. We need only the guide for .NET. So that is only what we are going to refer. So there are specific guide for specific languages, but we are only concerned about the .NET. Now, yeah, the last slide on this topic is uh, this NX automation vision. This I have copied from this API help guide. only, and you can even find this here. Yeah, so NX automation vision. You can read it yourself to understand it more. But what I have understood from this is that the vision of NX automation or this NX open programming tool is not just to automate the manual tasks that you do as design engineer. There is a very broad and uh, long-term vision that they had while they developed this programming tool. They wanted to have some tool or some programming capability uh, extension is to capture and preserve domain knowledge. It means that we can even create the programs that can hold the domain knowledge, that can store the information about the design processes. So this is what they had a vision, and based on that vision, they come up with this NXOpen programming tool. This programming tool also can capture the workflow knowledge. Means there are certain steps that we go through when we design. Also, there is some checking and approval things involved. So all of that as well can be programmed using programming tool, an open programming tool. This is not just to automate, not just to customize, ranging from simple utilities, simple automation to advanced automation. We can do anything. It is very well possible. So it is capable of developing any advanced programming automation. And not just that, it can even be used to for the integration with any other softwares. For example, the typical integration that we have seen or that you might have also using is that integration with a PLM software, Team Center or some other. So that integration is very well possible. So, but other than the PLM software, it can also integrate with other softwares. So integration is also possible with the programming, NXOpen programming tool. So these are the areas where it can be extended, and it can be. It's not. It can be. It is actually extended, and it is used. So it's already done. So it is not just can be. It is actually already done. So these are the different. Uh, so you can imagine how powerful it can be. It can develop any popular, any complex program as well. Now, little bit to summarize about the field of NXOpen is that uh, I know that this programming tool is uh, around there for 30 plus years at least, as I know. So 35 years says that I think it is 80s or 85, uh, 80s or 90s. Uh, During that time, it has first being rolled out, and since then, it is used across industry. It has started with mainly with aerospace, then automotive, but nowadays it is across any industry very popularly used. And why it is popular? The only one reason is that it is very powerful tool. It can develop any simple automation that you want. It can develop a very complex automation based on your need. So it is possible. So there are hardly you hit across the limitation, and actually this there is not possible to hit across limitation because it is open-ended in a way. Because if it is something that you come across which is not easily programmable, not possible to automate, you find the alternatives because integration is possible. You can plug in something else and get that limitation sorted out by by the help of some other tool. So it is that much open-ended as well. So this is about uh, the introduction part to NXOpen. Uh, yeah. So I think I hope that you got lot more knowledge, lot more understanding about NXOpen programming tool by now. So that's it when it comes to the introduction part. Now we will move to the topic number 2, which is introduction to C#.NET. You either call C hash, you call C sharp, or you call C#.NET. It is one and the same thing. Now let's talk about the programming language. Uh, Forget about C# for now. Why programming language is used? It is used to give instructions to computer. What we do is we use keyboard and mouse as an input device to give commands to computer, right? But uh, the next uh, the next step to beyond this use of keyboard and mouse is that we can program certain steps together, certain instructions together, and with the click of button, we can perform 5, 10, 20 steps in our computer. So this is what is possible when we use a programming language. So of course, programming language uh, needs to be learned. We need to know how to program, but that is nothing but used to set certain instructions, some set of commands and command options that do certain activity inside computer. It can be any software program, it can be any software uh, script that is written using a programming language and that do certain steps into your computer. That's it. So this is what is the meaning, or this is what is where programming language is used. Now, one more important thing about programming language is uh, programming languages are unlike the human language. Like how I am talking with you, uh, maybe it is very uh, unprecise. Even if I am unprecise, it is still fine because you able to understand, you able to judge what I am talking about or what I mean to say. I don't need to be very, very specific and precise when we spoke as a human. But for programming language, uh, it is not like that. First of all, computers does not understand human language. If I spoke, computer won't understand. Uh, yes, there is an exception coming in. Might be that may be the popular thing or very usual thing in future because of this AI and ML thing. There is text recognition, there is speech recognition. We use OK Google, we use uh, Amazon Alexa. So all of that, it is what is that? It is the devices or the computers are now started understanding human language. Forget about that part for now, but it is still difficult for computers to understand everything uh, of human language. So still computers are still popularly using a programming language to understand uh, from us as human. So computer language is still driving the computers, and this language needs to be precise as compared to spoken language. Spoken language can be unprecise, but computer language, programming language needs to be very, very precise. For example, let's say you are creating a sketch and you wanted to create that sketch on a 2D plane. So you need to exactly define which 2D plane you wanted to create the sketch. If you are not precisely defining it, it won't be created. The sketch won't be created, right? So it is specific definition of the plane is required. Similarly, when it comes to the direction, we need to specify the direction, whether it is towards X or towards Y, towards Z, if it is uh, minus Z or plus Z. So these specific details are required. Same way in a programming language as well. We need to be very, very precise, and also we need to provide the complete information. If we provide partial information, it's not going to work. So this is why this is the major actually point to note here by all of you is that programming language is very, very precise. As we move along, as we see different examples, and we will work on those different examples, you will feel or you will experience this. If you are missing out mentioning any of the parameter, your program is not going to work. This is because programming language needs to be precise. Okay. Now, now let's understand about .NET and then C Sharp. So, what is .NET? The .NET is an open source developer platform. So, this is a platform developed by Microsoft for the programmers or software developers to develop their programs. And when it was launched first time, it was actually very comfortable or easy tool for the developers, because prior to that it was very tedious or not that friendly thing to develop a program. So when the Microsoft has come up with this .NET uh, platform, I think it has come around 2000, year 2000. So once it was introduced, it was become very popular in less time, because it is very friendly and very easy for any developers to use and develop their programs, because it is also open source. It means that you can develop any kind of program, any kind of uh, development, software development you can do with this. So this is an open source platform that was developed for building different types of applications. If you go to Google and search for .NET framework, you will easily find this page. This is the page from Microsoft site, and I recommend you also go through this page at least. There are a lot of extension of this page you will find here. You can click on the different links and it will take you to the new page where there is a lot of information for you to go and read. But at least you read this page, you will understand what are the different types of applications that can be developed in .NET. Okay, and it can also write the applications in programming in any popular programming languages. It can be C sharp, it can be Visual Basic, it can be even C. So many popular programming languages it supports. So there is no limitation to use a programming language for this platform. But Visual Basic .NET and C sharp .NET are two native languages. Native languages means these are uh, these languages actually follow the context or the basis of .NET platform. So these are compatible and very well aligned language to the .NET framework. And no need to say that .NET framework is ranked as number one developers platform. Even there is like Java or Python, which are the popular languages in the software field. But still, .NET is the number one platform for developers. Now, the last topic, the last slide in this topic is C Sharp .NET. Now we understood about the .NET platform. Now about C Sharp. C Sharp is open source programming language. Open source meaning it can be used for any software development type. Also, it can be used with combination with other software developments. So this way it is open and flexible language. So now we are using C Sharp for NXOpen APIs, but C Sharp is used for many such several type of application development. Maybe we are not that popular when we are using C Sharp for NXOpen. There are lot many other developments, software developments. Those are carried out using C Sharp. If you go to Google again, if you search for the C Sharp, you can land on this page which talks about C Sharp as a programming language. I also recommend you go through this page. Uh, this talks about why C Sharp, then a typical uh, starting point, how any program in C Sharp is written, then yeah, then about different types of applications that can be written in C Sharp, ranging from desktop, web, cloud, to IoT, AI. We can develop any type of application using C Sharp. Ours one, when we are going to develop the NXOpen applications, those fall under desktop type of development because it runs on the native computer. It is not running on a web or not even cloud. It is still on the computer only. So that's why it is a desktop type of development. Okay, what else about this? Yeah, so this page you can even look through to understand about C Sharp. Yeah, we can build any application in C Sharp, whether it's mobile, web, desktop, whatever. But what we follow is we follow about the the desktop type of development. Now more about C Sharp. It's its concept wise, the programming language, its syntax, then different data types, etc., etc., which is a very basic stuff in C Sharp that will follow in the future sessions. Uh, and with this, we come to the end of topic number 2 for today.